Out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Ooh, right now, I got you. Right now. Nothing, need the Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands out.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Caught left side by Funchess. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Hey, that's it, buddy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, 26 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Able to slither by. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Dancing to his left. And incomplete to open things up. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
A dump off to Elliott. Elliott a 1st down and more as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Here go 46.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Prescott now. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Prescott on first down. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's coming now. Okay, we got 4. 26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to...
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Julius Peppers able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up 4th down. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Newton now to throw. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Hey, we're going right there. We're going right there. 26.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Prescott rolling to his right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. And that is incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
Hey, hey. Hey, get right down. Get right down. Get right down. Great, great. 10, under 10, 10.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And caught left side, Olsen. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Set. 180. Great.
Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Newton. And this one complete right side to Funchess. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
To throw on second down, Newton. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw on second down. Newton over the middle. It's Thomas. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You got it.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, he shifts past him. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Second down, Prescott going up top. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play here for Dallas. 41 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie up to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because...
Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Hey, hey. Do something. Set.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Right to the 3. Do something. That's it. 180.
To throw on second down. Newton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
That's it. 180. 20. Hey, get right down. Get right there. Get right there. Hey, get right down. Get right there. Get right there.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to loft one. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Following the interception, here's Prescott. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Prescott from the gun. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Prescott being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. A second down throw for Prescott. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And his kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half. Short
kick. One of the up mid will take it now. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wild card matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wild card bout. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
We got three, fellas. We got 3.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He hits Beasley right side. He showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, "Listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game." Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
After the loss, here's 2nd and 12 from the 18. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
First down, Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw on 2nd down. Newton. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Now Prescott. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. K1 short. Breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
46.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, 35 yards. And now the Cowboys are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all. Still
want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, Newton hits his target. It's Adrian Peterson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the red zone now, Newton. Buying time to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to the ground, Peterson. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, Newton. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Gano's kick is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, They're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. They start on the ground with Elliott. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
46.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go, 46.
Prescott on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 49 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They're going to try and run. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's Newton now on second down. It's caught by Funchess. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Right to the 3.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Sit.
Back to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll look to throw. To the right side, and he's got more complete. Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on fourth down. And Newton's going to keep it. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So the D-line got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call. But as you noted, if they didn't get the push, you can't get in there. There's no place for him to go. And that's why the whole play got stuffed.
47.
They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
26.
Again, it's Elliott. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The Panthers are going to take another timeout, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Gun. You go 47. 46.
They'll try and run forward with Elliott. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down in the backfield. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
That's right now.
Back to throw. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now a run with McCaffrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Again, they run again. It's McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And off comes to Peterson. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. Cam trying to rally his guys to the line as quick as he can.
We can't be totally sure that that was by design, but we do know that a lot of kickers like the ball in the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
One last throw here for Newton. And this is going to be caught. It's caught, and they've won the football game.
Brandon, you know I love boxing, right? You know I love big fights, right? I'd given them the standing 8 count a few times along the way. And look at how this one ended.
Yeah, they had, well, I guess 9 lives, just like a cat, kept fighting, and they're in the end making the huge play to get the game winner.
I guess that's the epitome of you always have a puncher's chance.
Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night, everybody.